This is the most terrifying predator to ever walk the earth. A creature so powerful that even today it still dominates our imagination. But what if I told you its story didn't end in victory? It ended in fire, chaos, and total extinction. Today, we're not just looking at a dinosaur. We're experiencing the entire life of a Tyrannosaurus rex. From the moment it's born to the very last day of its existence, it begins in silence, buried beneath layers of soil and rotting vegetation, lies a nest. Inside, dozens of eggs, carefully hidden from the dangers of the outside world. Each one holds a life, waiting for the right moment. The environment is warm, humid, alive with sound. Insects buzz, leaves rustle. Distant creatures move through dense prehistoric forests filled with towering ferns, cycads, and ancient conifer trees. And then something happens. A crack inside one egg. Movement begins. A tiny claw pushes outward, breaking through the shell. A baby Tyrannosaurus rex enters the world. Small, fragile, vulnerable. At this stage, it is no king. It is prey. Covered in soft, feather-like fuzz, the hatchling is surprisingly fast, but far from safe. Because in this world, everything is trying to survive. And survival often means killing something else. Many baby T-Rexes never make it past their first year. Not because they're weak, but because the world around them is ruthless. Small, agile predators roam nearby, hunting in packs. Creatures like dromaeosaurs, fast, intelligent, and deadly, can easily overpower a young dinosaur. In the rivers, massive crocodilian predators lie in wait, completely still, until the perfect moment. Even other Tyrannosaurus rexes, larger and more dominant, can become a threat. Cannibalism wasn't uncommon. In this ecosystem, there are no rules, only survival. The young T-Rex must learn quickly. It feeds on insects, small reptiles, anything it can catch. It avoids open spaces, stays close to cover, and relies on speed rather than strength. Every day is a test, every sound a potential threat. But the ones that survive begin to change. Months turn into years. The small hatchling grows rapidly, faster than almost any animal alive today. Scientists believe a teenage T-Rex could gain more than 2 kilograms every single day. Its legs become stronger, built for speed. Its skull begins to expand, making room for one of the most powerful bite forces ever evolved. At this stage, it's not fully grown, but it's already becoming dangerous. Unlike adults, juvenile T-Rexes were likely faster, more agile, built for chasing smaller prey. They may have filled a completely different role in the ecosystem. But growth doesn't stop, and with size comes power. Eventually, it reaches adulthood. A fully grown Tyrannosaurus rex, over 12 meters long, weighing up to 9 tons, with teeth the size of bananas, designed not just to cut, but to crush bone. Its bite force, estimated at over 12,000 pounds, is the strongest of any land animal in history. This is no longer a survivor. This is the apex predator. Nothing hunts it. Everything fears it. Now, it hunts the giants. Massive herbivores roam the land, including creatures like Triceratops, heavily armored, with horns capable of impaling predators. But even they are not safe. A hunt begins. The T-Rex locks onto its target. Slow at first, calculating, watching for weakness. Then suddenly, it charges. The ground shakes beneath its weight. The prey tries to escape, but it's too late. A single bite lands with devastating force. Bones crack, flesh tears. The fight is brutal, chaotic, desperate. Sometimes, the T-Rex wins instantly. Other times, it suffers injuries, deep wounds, broken teeth. Every hunt carries risk. Even the king can fall. But over time, experience makes it more efficient, more precise, more deadly. It dominates its territory, unchallenged, at the top of the food chain. But life is not just about hunting. At some point, it returns to something deeper. Instinct. A nest. Eggs. Carefully laid. Representing the future. The next generation. For a brief moment, the cycle begins again. But this world does not allow peace for long. One day, something changes. The T-Rex returns and senses it immediately. Silence. No movement. No sound. The nest is gone. Destroyed. Eggs shattered, scattered across the ground. Whether by predators, environmental disaster, or sheer bad luck, the result is the same: loss. Even at the top of the food chain, there are things you cannot control. Time passes. The giant continues to roam, hunting, surviving, existing. Seasons change, landscapes shift, but nothing could prepare it for what comes next. Far above the earth, something appears. At first, just a point of light, barely noticeable. But it grows rapidly, brighter, hotter, larger. An asteroid, roughly 10 to 15 kilometers wide, hurtling toward Earth at incredible speed. There is no warning, no escape, no chance of survival. And then, impact. The collision releases more energy than billions of nuclear bombs combined. The ground shakes violently, triggering earthquakes across the planet. A massive shockwave tears through the atmosphere, flattening everything in its path. Forests ignite instantly. The sky turns into fire. Debris is thrown into space, only to fall back down as burning fragments, raining destruction across the globe. Tsunamis rise, sweeping across entire coastlines. And in the middle of it all, the Tyrannosaurus rex, even the most powerful predator to ever walk the earth, is completely helpless. In a matter of minutes, its world is gone. But the destruction doesn't stop there. Ash and dust fill the atmosphere, blocking out sunlight. Temperatures drop dramatically. Plants begin to die. And with them, the entire food chain collapses. Herbivores starve. Predators follow, over weeks, months, years. Life fades. The age of dinosaurs comes to an end. The mighty Tyrannosaurus rex, from a fragile egg to the ruler of a lost world, is erased forever. And yet, its story doesn't truly end, because even today its legacy remains in fossils, buried deep beneath the earth, in birds, the distant descendants of dinosaurs, and in us, still fascinated by the greatest predator that ever lived. But here's the craziest part. What if not all dinosaurs died that day? What if some of them are still here?